pass rusher who makes their other pass rusher better is that their defense gets a whole lot better. And guess what you can do? Nagy can grind games now. He can run the ball. He can grind it out. He can trust his defense. He doesn't have to take so many chances, and that's going to help them win more games this year. That I don't know why Green Bay didn't trade for Khalil Mack, but
I tell people all the time, kind of tongue-in-cheek, but I'm a lot better D-line coach because I have a returning All-State kid coming off the edge.
No doubt.
He makes me a lot better of a coach because he's an All-State player.
Your job is to just put him in position to execute.
Yeah, absolutely.
And if you do that for him, he executes, bam.
Yeah.
You don't really have to coach him up.
No. And that's a testament to him, obviously. But, PJ, great job if you're listening. So moving on, number 7, who you got?
I got the Denver Broncos.
Denver Broncos.
Who are 2-0.
They are 2-0.
The reason I don't have them higher, I don't like their wins very much. I think the Raiders are a hot mess.
Mm-hmm.
And then who's their other win against? I can't remember.
Seattle.
Okay, so Seattle's also a hot mess. But I will say this on a positive note for the Broncos. They're going to give the Chiefs trouble because the Broncos do have a really good defense, and it's showing up. Their defense is really good. Their quarterback's playing good enough. Still turns the ball over. Running game's decent. The Broncos play same style, right?
Mm-hmm.
Grind them. We're going to control the ball. We're going to control the clock. A little bit of a boring game against Oakland, but they pulled it out.
They won.
And so 2-0, and that's going to be a nice little and you know what? You had the Broncos win the division, right?
I did.
And do you still stand by that?
I am. They're obviously Mahomes is playing out of his mind, and we'll get to more Kansas City stuff here in a little bit. I'm sure they're going to be a little higher on our list. But
I don't have him in my top 10. No, I'm just kidding.
So I don't want to kind of jump the gun there, but I did have Denver winning the division, and there's nothing I have seen from Denver that tells me they won't. But my number 7 is Minnesota. I got them up there.
You got them over the Packers.
I got them over the Packers. They're 1-0-1. It was really tough for me to, I guess, put them over the Packers because they tied. But I felt like they beat San Francisco, and I think that is a better win than Chicago.
They also kind of handled them.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, they kind of handled them.
I don't want to – I guess, you could say, like, I'm penalizing some people for the schedule, other people I'm not. But, I feel like San Francisco is a better win than Chicago was for the Packers. So that's basically the reason why I have them 7-8. Obviously, you could argue to flip them according to the way I'm doing my list.
Yeah.
But, hey, it's my show. I have a show. You guys don't.
Whoa.
So, send those hate tweets to @Midwest Mikes, by the way.
No, to go on top of what you're saying about Minnesota over Green Bay, I would say Minnesota has a better defense.
Mm-hmm.
Personnel-wise, it's better, right? And then
I think they have more weapons on offense.
They have more weapons on offense, too. So I don't think it's crazy to put them over that. And then that division for sure is coming – well, yeah, the Detroit. But that division is going to come down to probably
it's going to be a three-way race, I think, with Chicago getting Mac. That could be a three-way race. But
the other thing is, too, like if somebody on Minnesota gets hurt, Cousins gets hurt, or Rodgers bangs up again, Chicago's going to jump right up in there, right?
Absolutely.
So there you go. I do like that. Number 7. I had a tough time not fitting the Vikings in on my list. So
yeah. So obviously, If Minnesota, like we said about Green Bay, if Minnesota wins that game, if they pull it out, I probably got them a little higher than 7.
Right.
But, the fact that they tied, I got them down there at 7. So moving on, number 6, I do have the Denver Broncos here. They are 2-0. Like we said, they beat Seattle and Oakland. I feel like Seattle and Oakland are both on a downward trend, which is why I don't have them in my top 5.
Right.
But they are undefeated, so they got to be top 10. So I got them at number 6.
Right, okay. My number 6 would be Tampa Bay Buccaneers, 2-0. Really fun to watch. Fitzpatrick's playing really good. They call him Fitzmagic. One thing, a telltale sign of this team is the press conference that Fitzpatrick did after the game where he put on Deshaun Jackson's gear and was making jokes. This team is loose.
Yeah.
They're way loose. And you know what? Tampa Bay really no one expected them to do much. They don't have anything to lose.
No.
He's the backup quarterback. right?
Yeah.
He's not expected to be winning these games. So he goes out and he's putting up good numbers, really good numbers.
Really, I mean, some people are arguing like, your early MVP race right now is between Mahomes and Fitzpatrick.
I mean, is it not? It totally is.
You could totally make that argument.
The thing is, okay, when you start thinking about recipe for success on that offense, he's got 2 excellent receivers to throw to.
Absolutely.
Mike Evans and Deshaun.
Yep.
Killers, right? Speed. Mike Evans got the big body.
Can't coach speed.
I mean, I'm telling you, like it's a recipe for a good offense. Especially Fitzpatrick has never been Fitzpatrick's never been anybody that's like the worst quarterback you ever seen or anything like that. He's put up some bad games because I think he's
been on some bad.
But the thing
teams,
is, okay, I'll say that yes, correct. So you're the coach. Jameis Winston comes back. Who do you start?
I'm sticking with the hot hand.
I'm sticking with the hot hand. I don't think Winston's that good and has proved that much to be. Oh, you're right back in.
I mean, it's not like Tom Brady was suspended
Aaron
for
Rodgers
4 games. Aaron Rodgers
gets hurt, and then they win games, so we should keep Mike Flynn in.
Yeah,
remember that? I mean,
yeah. I mean, there's several guys in the league like that are going to demand their job back, but Jameis Winston is not one of those guys to me.
I would say even probably potential if Fitzpatrick keeps it going. I would say potential to go ahead and sever ties with Winston. Depends on what the cap penalty is.
Cap and all that, yeah.
Because if his cap penalty is super high, then you keep him.
There's a lot of smarter guys than me that figure all that stuff out. But
or you trade him.
I mean, absolutely. He's not a guy that
or you
jumps
hang on,
off the page.
Yeah, or you hang on to him, and he's a really good backup for you. And if Fitzpatrick starts, because I think
personally, I don't see him being happy as the backup.
Well, too bad, sucker.
Yeah, I know.
Don't get suspended.
Yeah, exactly. So moving on, number 5, who you got?
I have the Cincinnati Bengals. I have them high up. I have them high up also because I do really like Coach Marvin Lewis.
Marvin Lewis has done a good job in Cincinnati. I mean, they were bad for a long time too. He's kind of kept them in the picture.
Okay, so like
a long time.
So it'd be
Is he the most tenured coach behind Belichick right now?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, behind Belichick.
Yeah, because he was all the way back with freaking Palmer, man.
Mm-hmm.
He was all the way back with Kidna.
Mm-hmm.
He brought that team back with John Kidna, Palmer. Go through a little whatever.
Yeah, he's been through some quarterbacks.
You get Andy Dalton, Andy Dalton's not great. Andy Dalton's good. Andy Dalton's
good.
Yeah, playoff not so great. But I would say this about Marvin Lewis, and I love him so much. It's total stability. If you're a Cincinnati Bengals fan, every year you might not say Super Bowl, but every year you're like, you know what, we might make playoffs.
We'll be good. We'll have between 6 and 10 wins.
I mean, I almost even say 8 and 10. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if they didn't make playoffs last year, correct?
No,
it's right. But they weren't. I don't think they won like 4 games or anything like that.
No. They were close.
So
they were fighting for a spot that last week.
So I'm a big fan, and then I'm also a huge fan of AJ Green. I think he has been playing out of his mind. Last week he just went off. I think 3 touchdowns. 3 touchdowns. That's right. So
I mean, obviously I had Cincy a little lower on the list, but you're wrong again. I'm right.
What the?
Number 5, I have our local Kansas City Chiefs.
Wow.
Kansas City Chiefs at 5. They are 2-0. So, you got to put them in there. They beat San Diego, who, was your pick to win the division.
Yep.
I picked San Diego 3rd in that division, but I did talk about that they were a team that can be close. They didn't have a lot of big-time blowout losses last year. They played a bunch of close games. So they're an average NFL team, I feel like. Average, okay? Not above average, but average. And then Steelers, who you could say over the last, decade have been a top team. But based on what's come out in the last week, I feel like they're on the downtrend, and they're very close to falling apart. I mean, the whole Le'Veon Bell thing, not paying him not reporting. This is 2 years in a row. It's the first time he's missed games.
Yeah.
And now Antonio Brown all of a sudden is not happy. I mean, winning kind of cures a lot. And now that they're not winning, they tied with the Browns, which I feel like for Steelers Nation is a loss. And then they pretty much got embarrassed by the Chiefs Chiefs were all over them. I know it kind of came close in the end, but Chiefs were kind of all over them. Steelers Nation is not happy, so these things are going to start coming out. But I'm talking about the Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes is playing out of his mind. 10 touchdowns in 2 games. No picks. Obviously he's not going to throw freaking 80 touchdowns this year. I mean, the record's like 55, 56. I don't even think he's going to get close to that. But right now he's playing out of his mind. He's playing great for a first-year guy. Really, I mean, second-year guy, but essentially a first-year guy. First year as a starter. Andy Reid, I believe this is Andy Reid's best coaching job. I think that just the game plans, the throws they're asking Mahomes to make are money throws. Andy Reid knows the guy's skill set. They've played 2 defenses that are a 3-4. This week will be the first week they play a 4-3, which I think will make a little bit of a difference. But I think once you get past about week 4, I think that's when Mahomes is really going to start to have a dip because coordinators will have film on him and they'll kind of figure some things out. But right now, Kansas City Chiefs 2-0. Great job. Beat both teams you played. Who you got at number 5?
I already did my 5, so I'll do. I'll do my 4, which looks like it's the same as your number 4, which is the New England Patriots.
Yep, New England Patriots 101.
I would have had them lower, but they got Josh Gordon. And when Edelman comes back, all of a sudden that receiving core that everyone said, who's he throwing to? All of a sudden it's one of the best in the NFL.
Yeah.
I mean, if you count in Gronkowski in the receiving core, which I am. Yeah. I count Kelsey on the Chiefs. I'm counting Gronk.
Yeah. I mean, I had them here because, I don't see Houston as – I had them winning the division prior to the season. But right now, after 2 games, I don't consider that a top-tier win. And
I'm with you there.
Jacksonville is not a bottom-tier or even middle-tier loss. Jacksonville's a really good team. Obviously, neither of us have had Jacksonville on our list yet, and we're at number 4. So we're saying each of us agree they're a top 3 team.
And you still got Tom Brady, and you still have the best coach in the NFL.
Yeah, and you did get Josh Gordon this week, so that guy's a really good receiver when you can play. And Belichick, I feel like has proved he can take those cast-offs from other teams, and get something out of them.
Another thing, too, about New England, typically start, besides the undefeated season, typically start a little slow.
Absolutely. So
he does. You go back throughout the years, their weeks 1 through 4 are usually about 500.
Yeah.
And then it starts going up. I saw this, Colin Cowherd talked about it, I think, last year or the year before. Well, all of a sudden the Patriots, Belichick figures out a way to get them hot every single year at the end of the year and then going into the playoffs. He's perfected it to a science.
Yeah.
So if they were 2-0, I would probably have them 2 or 1, but because they have a loss, but it's a good loss on the road to Jackson. On the road, right?
No, they were at home.
They were at Foxborough. Oh, okay. I'm taking them off my list.
No,
they're 4.
It's not a terrible loss.
No, they're 4.
Yeah. So
Tom Brady.
All right, number 3, I got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who you already talked about. They are 2-0, beat the Saints, which. Saints are a really good team, and they beat the defending Super Bowl champions, the Eagles. That's 2 quality wins in my book, which is why I have them at number 3.
I love every single thing about Tampa Bay.
Yeah. Fitzpatrick is playing out of his mind. Obviously, I don't see that continuing for 16 games.
You think they can win the division?
At this point, I felt like the Saints were going to win that division. I felt like Atlanta has looked lost, kind of.
Yes.
So I wouldn't rule it out.
Why does Atlanta look lost? It's easy, and I think I know.
I don't think they're getting the ball to their playmakers.
It's the offensive, right? They don't have their coordinator anymore, right? Their coordinator for the Super Bowl was Shanahan, wasn't it? Kyle.
Oh yeah.
Kyle's gone. Kyle's gone.
They got Sarkisian.
So the offense is kind of lost.
Yeah.
Kind of like, yeah. So, that makes a lot of sense, actually. Kyle Shanahan is a heck of a play caller.
Yeah. So, but I got Tampa Bay at 3.
They beat a Hall of Fame quarterback, and they beat the defending Super Bowl champions.
Yeah. Because
Pretty good.
there's,
It's pretty
I'm
good,
pretty
man.
sure there's nobody that would argue that